Al.
What's up?
It's
What's good,
my
Stubbers?
birthday.
What? Improbable.
Look at those balloons.
It's your birthday. I know we have some balloons in the background. I may have stayed up after stream last night to, participate in that.
Oh, is that what you were putting up last night?
Maybe.
I was wondering why it was taking you so long.
Tell the folks
to
what we're
bed.
in for today, Bigly.
We are Vashu. Oh, thanks for stopping by to wish happy birthday.
Thank you, Vashu.
What are we up? What are we up to? Well, we're gonna do our. Oh my God!
All the love. Oh,
Wow,
my
Vashu, thank you so much.
Vashu, 10 subs. Oh my goodness, that's extremely generous,
Yeah,
Scarshack.
so
Thank
nice.
you. And on behalf of Sarah and his light, Gamer Mom Luna, Varnish Sun, Laughing Vrock to Blab, 419 Snowman, Steph J2 Fan, Madman is me, and Man Bunny TV and Great Wolf. Thank you very much. Enjoy your new subs, courtesy of the endless generosity of the shoe. Thank you, Vashu.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you
so
much.
sweet.
It's so nice. Yay. Yay. Look at it all dinging. And Skyshack, thank you. Thank you so much. Brad did a little house decorating, which I'm very excited about. Rendor, thank you. It's my birthday. I love birthday stuff. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of those people who I love birthdays and I love doing birthday stuff. And it's awesome and it's fun and I love it and I love it being a big thing. And I like doing it for other people too, not just for me. I like making a big deal for other people's birthdays.
That's true. You're also very generous when it comes to that.
Yeah. I just think it's important and it's special and you should feel special on the day you were born.
One of the many things I love about you, because I have a tendency to forget my birthday.
I know.
Is that sad? Does that make me a sad
It
person?
makes me a little sad. Thanks, Five.
Oh, well,
Thanks, Five. But thank you so
It's
much.
not
I know.
about me, though.
Skyshack, brace yourself. The happy birthday posts are
Here
coming.
come the happy birthday post. There you go. And you deserve it because you're this constant force of positivity. You know, we have our jabs and such. What's your mute that action?
That's right.
Mute your monitor, Bigly. Don't
trying.
be a noob.
It is muted. That's so, oh no, it's not. Burps.
But you know what?
Whoops.
You do deserve all of it, and I hope that you have a great day filled with accolades. Of course, the impeccably brilliant celebrity treatment from your husband and partner in crime. Something to look forward to.
I did get coffee delivered to my room this morning.
Hey.
And my mother made scone cookies.
It's too early for breakfast in bed,
That's fair.
right?
Well, I mean,
So we did coffee in the bathroom instead. What?
that
It's
sounds
true.
hilarious. Coffee in the bathroom. Happy birthday, baby.
Let's talk more about the birthday celebrations, what we have in store as we begin the countdown to good morning on the BazNBigly Morning Show. Welcome. Yes. Chilling in the cafe.
Look, my skirt
on a birthday
has party
Friday.
cats on it.
It does. Has cats.
With party hats.
Has kitties.
Look at that. Look how cute that is.
Party cats. Party kitties.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're going to be a couple of party kitties today.
Ooh, I hope so.
We have a fun show lined up today, as always. But it's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Because we were focused on a few things this week, and we got lots to talk about.
Yeah, we do. We
The
always
segments
have
are a
lots
little
to
bit
talk
shorter
about.
this week.
Oh,
So we'll just have to make them count.
Rankus,
Rankus, welcome in. Happy birthday, Steffers.
Thank you.
The love.
Yes. For those of you who don't know,
we
my
need.
closest friends call me Steffers.
That's right.
It's
like a pet name.
It's a pet name, yeah.
a term of
But
endearment.
all of our closest friends always call me Steffers, and I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. 419 Snowman, hello, welcome, doing well, thank you. Snowman just received a brand new sub to the channel on behalf of Vashu. Nat, happy birthday for Steffers. Jen, happy birthday, Bigly.
Thank you guys.
Love you
also,
guys so
Natalie's
much.
birthday is tomorrow. So Natalie
Hey.
is my oldest and one of my best friends, and we grew up and our birthdays are a day apart.
Well, at the risk of sounding egregious, you should swing by tomorrow so we can sing you happy birthday, Nat.
Oh yeah,
Just
during
long
our stream
enough.
tomorrow. Yeah.
for us to sing you a happy McBirthday. I don't know why I put Mick in there. That's a society.
Maybe I should play everyone
Mick
the
society.
birthday song Natalie sent me this morning.
Did Nat send you a birthday song?
Mm-hmm.
I know that collaboratively your songwriting genius paired is unparalleled, so that is definitely exciting. Silent with the dance. I love those emotes. Those are super cute.
Nat. Yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to eat
Shall
this.
be a good time. Have by all.
I'm
3
going to eat
minutes
this orange.
on the countdown until we kick off the morning show.
It's my birthday.
You
I
eat
can
the-
eat what I
You
want.
can eat the orange, yeah. All the oranges.
I love oranges.
I also love oranges.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 outfits for today. This is my daytime
Do
birthday
tell.
dress.
This is the fashion segment, the new fashion segment.
Yes, and
on
then
the
I have
BazNBigly morning show.
an evening birthday dress, which is much more epic and new.
Splendid.
This dress isn't new, but it is adorable because it has balloons and party streamers on it. And who doesn't want to wear a dress with those balloons and party streamers on it?
I can't think of anyone who shouldn't or wouldn't.
She has a birthday suit too. I do. So technically,
She does.
3 outfits.
3 outfits. Layered.
Oh,
Indeed.
Craig, thank you so much.
Oh, welcome, Craig. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. How sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Puff puff to
awesome.
the birthday.
How are you doing, Craig? Been a minute, my dude.
Thanks, Snowman.
I'm just getting this out to the world.
Okay.
There we go. You continue to do your thing. Yeah, Craig, what's new, buddy?
I'm very glad it's happening. Whoa. Oh, that was just you.
Doesn't count.
Mm-mm.
It's freebie.
I was like, who's that? Oh, tis just Brad.
Tis I. Tis but I.
Craig, I'm tired of COVID. Ah, yes.
Hey, I heard that. But we'll be coming at you with some lighthearted news today, so hopefully put a smile on your face. Get your Friday started off with some positive vibes, some lighthearted news. This is the intro to the BazNBigly Morning Show, of course, every Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific time. If we haven't had the pleasure yet, my name is Brad, a.k.a. Baz.
And I'm Steph Bigley.
A.k.a. Birthday Girl today.
AKA birthday
So every
girl.
Friday we come at you with lighthearted news. Keep it light and easy, casual, because we can get the other kind of news anywhere.
Yeah.
And we do funny shit on the internet, of which I am lacking today.
I
So I'm
know.
going to have to be funny shit on the internet.
Okay.
That's the trade-off. And then nerdity warning to close out the show, of course, where we get down and dirty and nerdy with some of our favorite nerdy news from around the web
We're going
this
to get
week.
white and nerdy. White and nerdy. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Of course. We had to throw to Weird Al. for
I
that
like
one.
how
There's some funny shit on the
Silas
internet.
says if I can't take all my clothes with me,
You take
then
some of your
she'll take some
Yeah,
of the wardrobe
sure.
off your
Sounds
hand.
good.
I will be having to offload some
Actually,
things.
that is good news. That's yeah. So we have some
good
channel news and we have some
Yeah.
us news. So
Yeah.
that should fill out the segment.
Yeah.
We can crush 2
definitely
hours
will.
on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Love the
Craig,
nerdship.
wait. Not tired enough. Like, not tired enough to change continents. but tired.
But tired. I heard that. Well, we have some good news in that regard that came in this morning too that we'll get to also.
Yeah,
so
well, our timer is up.
do stick around. All right, the timer's up. That means
It's
what does it mean?
showtime.
Showtime. Good morning starts.
No.
All right now. Good morning. So, what you guys don't see is when we roll the show intros, that's when like 2 of us are furiously stuffing our face.
Yeah.
With those. So I'm like cramming a scone in my mouth. But Good morning starts now, doesn't
Now.
it? Doesn't it, Bigley?
It starts right now.
How's your morning so far?
It's good.
That's a stacked question, I
Yeah.
feel like.
It's because it's my birthday.
'Cause it's your birthday. If you're just joining us from space,
In case you didn't know, guys.
if you've connected with us anywhere on the internet, then you would know. If you need filler today, I can plug my OF like last week. Got you my OnlyFans. Yeah, sounds good. You know what, Ranquist? Send us your demo. Send us your demo, and we'll roll it for. What segment would that be, Ranquist? Would it be funny shit on the internet? Lighthearted news or nerdity warning? You decide. You know your content better than we do. Which means clearly we're not spending enough time on Brendan's OnlyFans. Shame on us.
Apparently. Maybe you, but me on the other hand.
It's probably why I still have an appetite this morning. Hey, fat feet. Fat feet. Ah, that's great, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a niche, man. Everyone's got a niche. Scarjack, still figure out this whole AM thing. It can be daunting.
Yeah.
It can be daunting.
What's happening here? It's
The
all
big news.
poofed behind me.
The big news today is the birth of our patron saint of Ass Hattery, Madam
Hey,
Bigley.
patron saint
What?
of Ass Hattery.
That's a high.
But
that
that's
is a
not
high
what
station.
I want to be the patron saint of. I want to be like the patron saint of cuteness or something.
Patron saint of cuteness. Self-appointed.
Thanks,
Nerd alert!
Travis.
Trav,
Thank
what's up?
you.
Happy birthday from Trav.
It's a happy
Sweet.
birthday.
That's sweet. Thank you, Trav. And hello and welcome. Always good to see you on a Friday morning. Sainthood is no small feat. Are you still plugging your OnlyFans?
All hail Lady
Lady
Bigley.
Bigley. All right.
Mwah.
All right, settle down, guys. You only have to spend 2 hours with her. I need to spend the rest of the day with her. No, I'm
Your
just-
family does hail from knighthood.
That's true.
It does.
Yeah, we were talking about ancestry.
A while back, yeah. But I found out more now. Like
Yeah.
now I got way more info for his. And I actually
It's gotten to
found
the point where I'm starting to get worried. Like I'm nervous now when she comes up with new information.
Well, now there was some really. I did find a knight actually back in England in about the 1400s, a sir, and it said he was like the knight of this specific area who worked specifically at the time, which is
Knight
pretty
of
cool.
Newfoundland.
No, he was not from
He
Newfoundland.
was the knight of Port aux Basques.
I hope today is delicious. Well, it already is. Thank you, Travis.
so delicious.
So delicious.
We do have some fooding planned. And I can't say anything.
I know. It's all a surprise. So I basically just
Hot
told
dogs
Brad,
and mac and cheese.
all I told Brad was I need my birthday to be a big deal.
Yeah, no pressure. Yep, no
Yeah.
pressure.
No pressure.
You know you're a warrior though. You've pushed through a lot. We all have, I know,
Yeah.
but like I know that you've conquered some pretty massive demons, and in doing so, you have started your own business.
Yeah.
She has online vocal coaching and drama instruction, and a handful of students as well,
And
and
piano.
more growing all the time, and piano, teaching piano. And you opened a toy store. This is like
I
one that this
did.
goes quietly. So like, this was kind of a happy accident. Why don't you tell tell the folks?
Oh
how
yeah.
that came
So
about.
when my my mother was selling her house this year,
You opened a toy
and
store. That's ridiculous.
so that's where all my childhood like toys were, obviously, and obviously like I don't need any of that anymore. Like some of it I've kept. Thank you for the share, Jen.
Hey, thank you
and
for sharing the
James.
stream out. And James, thanks for helping us get the word out with the likes as well. Thank you, thank you.
But I had all these toys, right? Like from when I was a kid, like My Little Pony and like I don't know, like everything you can think of. And and I took all of the stuff and I made an Etsy store with it all. And it's done really well.
It's
So,
called
90s Nook. So
90s
if you're
Nook.
if you're
It's
looking
old
for like
retro toys,
yeah.
it's awesome, man.
So
The
if
old
you-
Ninja
yeah,
Turtles.
Ninja Turtle. Like so if you want like
of the Rings
retro
stuff.
toys, yeah.
Yes,
Aw.
coming in.
You fine folks. Happy actual birthday cake.
Thanks, Polly.
Thanks, Polly. Appreciate the bitch here and the wishes, of
Yeah.
course. Thank you. Mama Draki. What up, Mama? Hello and welcome to the show.
I love that. I'm going to call this out right on stream right now that Russ is phoning me for my birthday right now. Just Captain Kyraxis.
Do you want to put it on speaker?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Hold
sure.
on. Here we go.
Here we go.
Wait. Hold on, Russell. Wait. Audio speaker.
We're now taking live calls on stream.
Hi.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bigley. Happy birthday
Oh, thank you, Russ.
Way better than voice. Brandon says way better than voice to text.
There you go.
Yeah. Kyrax's superpower is kind of like doing voice to text, and then the rest of us get to decode what he meant with the robot translation.
Thanks for calling.
And for just going on stream, it's not worth it.
You're cutting in and out.
Something about pantsless, something
Yeah.
about assless chaps.
Because I'm probably. Is he saying something about assless chaps?
He
right
did. He
that
did.
that part came through. Yeah, that's the part that made it across the wire.
Yeah.
I'm wearing them for you right now.
You're what?
I'm wearing assless chaps for you right now.
You better be.
Thank you. For me. For
That's-
my birthday.
That's semi-formal office casual wear in the age of COVID.
Happy birthday! I love you so much.
I love you too.
And that other guy's okay, but you might want to kill the dead weight. I'm just saying.
It's a slow, steady project.
Yeah.
Anyway, get back to your stream. Don't worry about me. But many wishes and loves, and let's have a drink later in some sort of virtual way.
All right. Sounds good. Love you. Okay.
See ya, Captain
Bye.
Kyraxis. Take it easy. Amazing. Pants DJ chaps.
I know that was funny.
Ass did, and then Streamlabs got you for ass. Every damn stream this happens, and I keep
You
saying
forget.
I got to remember to tell Streamlabs to chill out
Yeah.
on the but it still comes up on
I just
stream
want to go
anyway,
back
so
for a
don't worry.
second. Mama Dockery
Yeah.
said, "Where are you guys from?"
Oh, Mama Dockery, yes. Let us get caught up on chat. Good
Mm-hmm.
call. Bigley,
We are from Ontario, Canada.
In Canada.
just like
north
very
of the wall.
area,
North of the wall.
north of the wall.
Great frozen north.
Aw,
Hey, it's
there he
Captain
is.
Let's give. Can you just click over here for me?
Where? I won't-
Here in
Here?
yeah, Yep.
I
There we
did
go.
it.
Let's do a little shout out for Captain Kyraxis. Captain Kyraxis has just entered the streamosphere,
The streamosphere.
and tonight I believe he's doing Call of Duty and beer. So what more do you want, right? Those belong together. Go check him out. Yes, thank you very much, Captain Kyraxis, for the call. Our first live caller on the
First
show.
live color. Yeah.
Something actually that we want to start doing a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see 5-putt? Yeah, we
He
saw
was
5-putt
here,
earlier.
yeah.
Are you still here, 5-putt? So I'm going to put you on the spot.
He might be lurking.
Maybe lurking.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah. What was your next-
Streamlabs will, freaking the fuck out. Can we talk about Ravenloft? Yes, let's do it.
No.
So, in a bit. Yes, we can. We will. In a bit. On Boost, perfect combo. Yep. So I'm on a conference call with the UK. Okay, gotcha. Well, I would like to...
My home.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Trav has
My
to bail. Got to bail. Have an
homeland.
awesome day, weekend,
Aw,
and birthday
thanks,
week.
Travers.
Thanks,
Thank
Travis. Always good to
you.
see you. And trying to send unrelated emails, of course. Well, I'll put you on the spot now while you're multitasking. I'd love to see if you would be interested in coming on for a quick segment to chat about cryptocurrency. Is that something that's in your wheelhouse? Take your time and think about it. I thought I'd put you on the spot live on air. Because that's a kind thing to do.
Stay on
Stay on
target.
target. Stay on target. That's right. But just to tease that, Wizards of the Coast announced a new Ravenloft compendium, the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. And I have some opinions,
Oh, I
and
bet
a
you
lot
do.
of people are excited. I, too, love Ravenloft, love the Ravenloft setting. I really enjoyed Weiss and Hickman's work on it, and they are the creators and the proprietors of that, but there's been, there is a little bit of friction there. We won't go into that, but I think I was saying, like, I'd be more excited with a compendium, and now they have finally answered that.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm glad to see that they've come out swinging this year.
Yeah. I know. I'm kidding.
After-
I like D&D. So.
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't like,
and
"No."
Ravenloft is such a great setting, and it's very fresh. So we'll touch on that a little bit later for sure, and I welcome chat's interaction, of course, on that. With that, why don't we jump into a little segment we call Lighthearted News.
Yeah. Wow, that was
Lighthearted
nice.
news. Yes. Steph, I believe you are actually kicking off today, and why not? What better way to get this party jumping than with the B-Day girl herself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about a heartwarming puppy rescue underway?
Puppy rescue. Yeah. So guys, this is a couple I follow actually on Instagram called Compass Couple. And right now, unfortunately, they travel around the world. It's their names are Wes and Ennis. And he is originally from Turkey and she's from the US. Anyways, they've been they were in Turkey. They're traveling and they came and were driving across by this road and there was a puppy. This little guy, look at how cute he is. Oh my God. So they found him by the side of the road and he was like covered in spray paint, like blue spray paint, and had he was bleeding and definitely hurt. And they're like, we can't leave this dog here tonight because it gets really cold in the evenings. There was a mother dog and some other puppies, but they tried to like bring him back to her, and she just wanted nothing to do with him and kept abandoning him. So they're like, okay, we can't leave this puppy here. So they took him back to their hotel, and they tried cleaning him up as best as they could. And they have a vet, and they got some help from a vet that they called and that they knew. And then he got really sick in the middle of the night and was doing really badly. And they took him to a local vet who like opened their doors at like 2 a.m. in the morning in Turkey. And anyways, he stayed there. They kept him there overnight. They're really upset. Anyways, he made a full recovery, this puppy. He needed like a bunch of fluids and antibiotics and everything. He had like cuts and everything, and they washed him. Anyways, he made a full recovery. So this little guy, people donated to like help get his medical treatment and things like that, which was like really sweet and really nice.
They had a GoFundMe
yeah, they had a GoFundMe for him, like GoFund Blue. They named him Blue because he had the blue spray paint on him.
Cappadocia Blue.
Yeah.
Cappadocia is the region where they were.
They were in Turkey. Yeah, that's where it is. Cappadocia is an area in Turkey.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they nursed him back to health. He's like healthy and everything. And they found they know that they're a travel couple, and it's not right for them to have a dog with them to travel with. Mm-hmm. So they found a family in Chicago to adopt the puppy.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
That's sweet.
So
when
the latest, this last week.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they sent him, and they brought him back. It was a little bit of a delay because supposedly getting a dog out of Turkey to go somewhere to a different country is like really complicated, and originally can take months and months. But they were able to get the papers, and because of the situation, get papers quicker, and we're able to take him across because a lot of pets need certain types of visas to travel, as I found out.
Yeah.
And it's more complicated coming out of Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he just this past week got delivered to his like forever home with this family, and they are like a family with kids, like teenage kids ish, and another dog, and they filmed the dog going there, and he was a little scared at first, but now he's like, it's a golden retriever, and they're like best friends already.
Oh,
and I watched
sweet.
the video and I cried because it was so sweet, and I'd watched it all from the beginning,
good,
from like when they found this puppy all the way through. So if you're looking they're a super sweet couple to follow. Also, their Instagram account actually got recently, it disappeared. Mm-hmm. So they're using a temporary account. So a lot of their stuff is like gone right now, which is really shitty for them because they've been building up obviously like a following, and it's so much work to get to a certain point there. Yeah. And so they delivered him the puppy now. But if you're looking for Cappadocia Blue is one of his Instagrams, and also Compass Couple, if you look them up, it's Ennis and Wes, and they're just a really sweet, genuine, lovely couple to follow as well, who are just doing like really nice things, right? So it's awesome. So check them out, they're awesome. And then Danny, thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. And that's how you do that.
Yes, Danny, thank you very much. Happy birthday, Bigly.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Welcome. Glad to see you. You made it in. That's awesome. Good to have you on board. Welcome. This is just the lighthearted news segment, actually, that we're continuing with. So please, continue. Very, very nice.
But yeah, and then basically, yeah, but mostly they post travel things and travel stuff like that. So if you think about looking them up and just like checking them out, then I would really highly suggest doing that because they're very cute and they're sweet, and the puppy is adorable. He's so sweet. He looks like the cutest puppy.
Yes.
And who doesn't like puppies?
And it is it's a wonderful feel-good story too.
It is. Like, it's a really, really, really nice, really adorable story.
What's not to love?
I know.
Very nice.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just to take care of that shit.
Yeah, I
obviously.
know.
It only happens when we stream into just chatting on Twitch. Honestly, it's like that's where some of the greatest people we've met are, but it's also where some of the worst, heinous, under pit type human trash lives as well. So sometimes you just got to administrate. You know what I mean?
And you administrated.
Yeah, and a lot of my mods started streaming, and now they don't come in the channel anymore. So I'm redoing all of my mods.
You need new mods.
Yeah, I need new mods. So
Not that our mods weren't
we do
great.
have a lot of
We
really
just
great
need
regulars
mods.
that I might throw
Yeah.
that out to if you're so inclined. Yeah, they were great. They're doing their own thing, so they haven't been in. So we got to correct that as well, so we can get that kind of stuff taken care of. Yeah, so it is a really great feel-good story. Watchtower, welcome. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hello, and welcome back. Good to see you, Watchtower. Yeah, it is. It's frustrating when you put so much work into a channel, into just finding the content, building it up over time.
It's
and
hard
they're
to build.
back up to like almost 1,000 followers on Instagram.
But they had like 100,000.
Oh man,
right?
It's so hard to get back. I hope that Instagram can help them out with that because they
Yeah.
should really know. It should be very easy for them to look into that, find out what happened,
Yeah, exactly.
and recover it. You can always roll
Because-
back an account. You can always,
Well, and-
it's Facebook too, right? Like,
Yes.
let's not kid ourselves. It's not like they're,
Well,
struggling.
And here's
in that
the
regard.
thing, right? It's that they have like, I've seen it happen to a few travel people before, and I don't know why it happens because like I follow most of my Instagram people that I follow are like travel related or Ireland related realistically.
Yeah.
And it's super hard to first have to build a following up doing it. It's really hard. And it's also like it's interesting because you have to, once you do build it up and everything, like getting those higher numbers and then losing all of that is that's so sad.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
tricky. It takes so much time. But what a wonderful thing that they've done. I mean, the amount of like human emotion that has to go into that to go through that kind of extent and effort to find a forever home for this.
Yeah,
poor
and
puppy.
like they spent a lot of their own money initially to get this puppy fixed.
Yeah.
You know? And I know a lot of people think like, oh, they're a travel couple. They must be really rich. No, they're just like, they just travel. They stay in like,
Not likely.
no, like she,
There's
I
not
know,
a lot of money in
I know
content
she
creation.
teaches remotely.
Yeah.
Like that's her thing.
Yeah.
So while they're traveling, like she has a little setup where she teaches English
Yeah.
online. And that's her thing.
And the beauty in that is that it's just straight, like, it's just pure joy, right? They do
Yes.
it because they love doing it. And that gives you the wherewithal to do what you have to do to make it work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I like them a lot. They're a really positive couple to go and follow.
Yeah.
Really diverse too, which is nice as well. So yeah, check him out. Check out the puppy. He's so cute.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story and a cute puppy. I'm going to launch from that. First of all, let's get caught up really quickly. Thank you, Danny, for joining. Sorry, in the middle of that action. We will get back to talking about Ravenloft and D&D later in the show as well. Your boy Blue, indeed. Watchtower, we're doing well, I believe. How are you doing?
It's my
It's
birthday.
her birthday. She's stuffing her face with birthday scones. All is well in the universe. We're doing it just like it should be done. How are you doing, Polly? Sorry, how are you doing, Watchtower? Polly just says how to teach your grandmother how to use her remote too. I'm a remote teacher as well.
Oh my God.
Waka waka. Moving on, in the interest of perseverance, I want to talk a little bit about a pretty momentous thing that happened this week: the landing of the Mars rover Perseverance. Did anybody watch this stuff? When I was cutting the B-roll for this specifically, I watched like the control room feed, and it was like, honestly, I started to get emotional too. Like I was literally choking back tears because I don't know, this is such an incredible and important thing for us as a global community, to be able to not only experience in our lifetime, but to be able to see the type of data and images that are being sent back over light years. I don't know, is it light years? Maybe not light years. Maybe I've been watching too much science fiction, but it's a long freaking way away.
It's
okay,
not, it's not light years because it only takes 7
like
months.
it's a year and a half rocket trip, I guess. So
no, they said. Well,
you're right. It's not that far, I guess.
No. But like it is far, but I don't think it's not light years
Okay.
away.
Okay. Thanks. Shall I?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. So it's not light years. There we go. Covered. But it's a long ways away. And I mean, in times where like somebody can call you from another part of the same province and you can barely hear them, and they're breaking up. This thing is sending back high definition video from fucking Mars.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that, the technology is amazing. And what really blew me away is the minds of these individuals. Like they are crazy genius. You have to mathematically ascertain every probability. Theoretically, like there's no precedent, right? There's no way we can say, well, last time we did this. I mean, they did land a rover on Mars, but you can't say like, well, this is what we learned from the last time, so we'll do this, but we'll just tweak these couple of things, right? It's not like a trip to the grocery store where you can optimize your route, right? You have to mathematically and theoretically master everything, and then you push go, and you hold, you cross your fingers for 6 months. And then you endure like an extremely if you're watching the VOD, you see them all jumping around and celebrating in the control room. You then like probably the most anxiety ridden like 15 minutes of the actual entry and landing. It's insane. The Wi-Fi is better on Mars than Earth. Yeah,
apparently.
Like what gives?
Well,
why does Discord have problems?
Have you have like? I found it.
Why
There's a
won't
live.
Roll20
there's a live feed from the video.
Yeah.
Straight from the rover
and it's constant,
on YouTube.
right?
That's and it's so cool. Like I had it on honestly just on the TV for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
For like just 2 hours straight. I had it on while I was teaching just because I was like it'd be cool to like look up and then you just see Mars.
That's right.
And it's so cool. Like it is really cool looking.
Millions of miles and a 5-month trip later. Exactly.
Yeah, we were saying it kind of looks very much.
Light
It looks
miles.
like
light months.
Arizona-esque and that.
Yeah, it's like Utah. I don't know, for some reason Utah can be like the Redstone cliffs and stuff like that. And sorry, Utahsians, if you know better than that, but that's what it's.
No, I've been to Utah. I know what you're talking about. It's like
the math alone is crazy enough to do something like that. Yeah, exactly. It's just the formulaic, the physics, the quantum physics, the neutral physics, the nuclear physics. I don't know. And this thing is nuclear powered. It's crazy. Like it has to have such a small power source that will fuel it for so long. We have the nuclear technology to make that work on another planet. I mean, I'm inclined to say like, why can't we do it on our own planet? But then I think I'd open up the argument that, well, we've tried that before, but we're still working on it.
Well,
I think
we were talking about this, how like I
just
think
have to do it carefully
I'm
and be smarter
fairly
about
certain
it.
in our lifetime we'll see someone get to Mars, like a person get to Mars. You're like that's the next logical step.
Yeah. I believe that in our lifetime we will as well. That's for another time. Yeah, another time indeed. Sila, I love math. Sila's a math teacher doing the good work. No, but like, you know what? I wish I was better at it because it is like, it really is the building block for a lot of things. And you know what else? It's a universal language too. I had a conversation. So I interviewed for a company today and they have a product that is very math centric and it's gamified. Basically, it's a really great product. Hopefully it works out. Wish me luck. But what I was talking about is like, I get that a product like this can exist and have global appeal because math is a universal language. You don't have to localize math, right? There's not like a Spanish version of math, a German version of math. Math is math everywhere in the world.
Well, music
right? Whereas
is like
if you were
that too.
teaching like literature, yeah, music is similar too, and they're very close companion commonalities.
I always
between
say
music and
the
math.
only
right?
math I know is music math.
Is music math?
That's
and
the
that's
only
very
math
real.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. So like
It's the only time I can do fractions.
Whereas if you're teaching like literature or history or virtually any other educational subject, it has to be localized, right? There has to be a localized language version of that, a Spanish version, German version, French version.
Yeah.
Math is math. I mean, they might call multiplication different things, but at the end of the day, the formula on the paper, a French person can do, an English person can do, a Spanish person can do without translation, provided they know how to do the math.
Yeah,
right?
same with
So
piano.
I think that's like, music is audio math.
Yeah.
Polly was saying. Yeah, so I think math is really kind of special that way. I wish I wasn't so turned off by it. And I think that really comes down to teachers, honestly. Like I had teachers who were just brutal usually when it came to math. Like they were very impatient. They would load you up with stuff and give you very little consideration around it. I had one or two teachers in my entire educational career who would take the extra time to help me when I was struggling with math. They just don't. They're just like, nope, figure it out.
Yeah.
Or pay somebody a tutor to tutor you. And my family didn't have money to pay someone for extra. Right. So I would rely on like after work clubs or school programs, things like that. And those are just not very good either. Right. Because they were usually student driven. And in the formative years, when you need that help with math, the other students who are helping the other students are also formative, right? So it's tricky. I bet you I bet you Sila would be an amazing math teacher. I wish I had like 10 of you the whole way up.
Oh, you said math.
Hype for the math.
Nobody else has ever turned off on math. Oh, you said right.
I turned off on math.
Yeah, Sila, you needed me as your math teacher. Probably.
Yeah,
because my
I'd
math teachers were the same way. I had one math teacher, and it was not until grade 11. So I was actually good up through like junior school and middle school and things like that. I was actually okay at math. I used to get in the 80s and things like that. I wasn't bad at math by any means. I used to get like low 80s. That's good. That's good.
Low 80s, I would have been like crazy.
Then I got to high school and had probably the worst grade 9 math teacher, and it was the year where like Ontario was kind of switching. They were going to be they've decided that they're going to be getting rid of OAC. If people remember here what that is, which was like the grade after grade 12, because you were in high school originally for 5 years instead of 4 in Ontario.
That was the double cohort.
Yep. And so it wasn't until like I graduated the year before the double cohort, but when I came to school in grade 9, that's when they decided that in a year or in 2 years that was going to happen.
Right.
And the problem with that was they shifted all the learning. So I basically went from like grade 8 math to grade 10 math. And I was like, what? And my teacher was awful. And I went to try and get extra help, and he kept being like, I went and was like, can I come in the morning? He's like, no. He's like, can I come after school? He's like, no. He's like, 5 minutes at lunch. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how am I supposed to learn? And I almost failed. I almost failed math. I did so terribly. And again, it wasn't until grade 11 when I was finally able to get a good math teacher and learn. But like after grade 11, I didn't take math again. That was the last year I had to take math. That was the last year I took math.
Right.
So, yeah.
Give me a sec here. I'm just going to scroll these.
Wait, I couldn't see.
No, don't worry about it. I'm just
Craig, grade 11 math teacher sucked, went from a 90 to a 50.
Oh, that is brutal.
Hopping the grade 12 math the following year, went back up to 90. It's amazing. Right? It is. See, that's the thing, right? It is insane what a teacher can do, right?
Man.
This is why I always say, like, sometimes it is the teacher's fault. That when, like, someone's doing so well and then they drop and their marks drop suddenly, maybe it's not because they're lazy. Maybe it's because they, had a bad teacher.
Yeah. I used to spend all of math class playing Tetris on my
God.
83.
Good morning, you fine folks.
There you go. I gave you a do-over, Polly.
Cake.
I just said it again.
I just needed to scroll those.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Those events. Yes, yeah, and that's just it. You mentioned, there has to be a point where they look at the teacher too, right? And Sila, I'd invite you to weigh in on this as well, because I'm sure you're a wonderful teacher, just like you are a wonderful human. But we definitely had those teachers in high school where everyone's averages tanked, and then they start to look at that teacher. They're like, yo, like, I'm sure it's a delicate balance, right? Because as a teacher, you try to, but I mean, like, again, it's pretty black and white. Math is math. It's either right or wrong. Versus literature, where it's so much of it is subjective, right? It's like, are you just being too hard on your students? But like math, if your students are failing in math, then the reflection is like, are you teaching them properly?
Look,
right?
but that can go with anything, though, right?
Yeah.
Look at music and vocal, for instance, right? You can get a kid who's been taught by one teacher a certain way for a really long time, get a new teacher, get better, and then get another new teacher and not do as good again, right? So that's a thing as well.
Chris says, "Oh, I'm lazy."
Music,
self-awareness is
like,
half the battle.
Instrumentals is the same way, right?
Yeah.
I remember like our band in my high school, we were like, our high school was very music oriented, and we had really strong performing arts program, and especially band and like strings and things like that. And in grade 9, there was a strings teacher, Mrs. Kuntz, and she left when I was in grade 9. So I had her for grade 9, and then she left, and she was fantastic. She was amazing.
Nice.
And then we had a new guy come in, and at first, people weren't as keen on him. But then he ended up being better than her, because it was just like, he was a hard ass, but also like could get different things out of us that she wasn't able to get out of us at like a younger age. She was great with like her older high school students, like the grade 12s and OACs, who she had for a really long time. But the newer group of us, I found she wasn't as like good with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we got this new teacher, and he just like had a way of like, just, I don't know, like getting more out of us. We wanted to do more, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's just like depends on the teacher, and sometimes it just depends on what you're learning.
Yeah, that's right. And Polly says, it wasn't until I became an adult that I really understood the complex concepts that I tried to learn as a kid. I believe the adage for that is hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, that's true. And isn't it funny, like, one of the things I find most difficult to swallow is when you look back and you realize that somebody was right the whole time. Like, you look back and you're like, that teacher that always gave you crap for that one thing because, like, you know, later in life you're going to blah, blah, blah. And you're like, whatever, shut up, grown up.
Yeah.
And then later in life you're like, they were right the whole time.
I know, it's funny.
Or finding out that, like, your mom was right about something the whole time. I was like, ugh.
You know, there's
it
hello,
happens.
Neil.
Neil, hello and welcome. What's up?
It's that charisma and passion a teacher can bestow that makes for a better learning experience and
absolutely.
grades. Yeah. Like, it's funny. So I think of like,
and that's reflective.
There's a whole running joke about how like high school teachers will be like, your university professors will never let this fly, right? And they do say that a lot. And then you get to university, and then nothing. Like, you get to university and they don't care.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, if you're late for class, they're not going to let this fly. If you're in a lecture of 200 people, they're not going to know if you're late.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. And there's very little, like, that's very, like, guy on the right who looks like he can give you candy if you only get his van. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. This is the BazNBigly Morning Show. Every Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And if you get in my van, I will give you something special. There you go. You're welcome in advance.
Might not be candy.
No. Kicking the nits. All right, next up, we're moving on to a segment we call Funny Shit on the Internet, where we talk about exactly that shit. We usually have 2 for this.
Yeah, I thought we had more news.
No.
Oh.
No, that's it. We have 2.
I know, but
Baz offers old Game Shark cheat codes. That's right. Get my van.
Again.
I'll give you old
Hey.
Game Shark cheat codes.
You want this Ocarina of
For
Time
Contra.
magazine?
That's right.
Walkthrough?
That's right. All right, Bigley, we only really have one of these.
I know.
And Bigley's going to fire it up because we are going to Mr. Ketchup. I don't even know what that is. Your stream looks cool. I might follow. Well, there you go. Feel free, Neil. Touchy van confirmed. Yeah, inbound coming up next. All right, Bigley, tell us a little bit about your let me get this paused real quick. About your funny shit on the internet this week. Want to set it up?
Okay, so I'm not sure how to pronounce his like name, his title.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Louis something, right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So anyways, he
Frenchman.
is
Frenchman.
So he is a TikToker. I know I keep going back to TikTok people all the time, but it's because most of the time it's hilarious. So he does a thing where he compares languages and like how words come about. So he does ones like he actually is mixed. He's like he speaks English, Spanish, and French. So those are the ones he covers, and he does it as if the languages are people, and that they're coming up with like the dictionary, or they're like it's like, okay, English, what do you want to call this? Or okay, French. Like English is kind of like in charge of everything, and he talks to the other languages, about figuring things out. He's really funny. A few other TikTokers and people have started doing this now, but he was kind of like the first one who started doing this concept of like languages being actual physical people and coming up with concepts. And he's my favorite one who does it. I think he's really funny. I always show you his videos whenever they pop up on my thing. So I don't know what you put together for it. So
well, I guess we'll have to see.
I guess we'll see.
It'll be a surprise for you too.
Here we go. Yeah.
For a new polyhedral, drop in the Konami code. That's right. Up, up, down, down, left, right. You want the rest of the code? Get in my white van, kid. You want to live forever.
This is what we will be naming today. All right, English, what do you got? Yeah, well, we were thinking table. Table, awesome, fantastic. French? Yes, well, I quite like table, actually. We shall call it table. Sweet, great, all right. Nice and simple. Remember what we discussed? French, please, could I make you reconsider that idea? Wait, what's going on? Well, French here has decided that every time we discover a new noun, he'll determine its gender. Yes. French, it's an inanimate object. Oh, no, English, he's well aware. Let's determine. Oh, yes. Hello, monsieur. No, it does not work. It does not work. French, you are embarrassing yourself. Please stop. Bonjour, madame. French, this is ridiculous. This will be of the female persuasion. Latar. Hello, French.
For if the flies. Por si las moscas. Por si las moscas. Just in case.
Hey, Spanish. Hola. So I hear you have a new expression for just in case, so if you could just give it to me so I could log it in the book. Yes, okay, so imagine later it might rain outside. I would say we should bring an umbrella for if the flies. For if the flies. What? No, that's it. For if the flies. For if the flies isn't a sentence, right? No, it makes sense. For if the flies come out, right? For if the flies... Oh my God, French was right about you. You don't understand anything. For if the flies... Spanish, no, come on. That makes no sense at all. Oh yeah, it makes sense. For if the flies... For if the flies... For if...
Head. Pain. Lost. Perdu. Pain perdu. French toast.
All right, I've asked you guys to eat the toast and come up with a name for it. French, what you got? Yes, I lost it. What do you mean you lost it, French? I just gave it to you. I don't know. But you know what? Maybe we should just call it lost bread. No, French, you cannot call it lost bread. Just find it. Pain perdu. No, oui, French, that doesn't make any sense. Pain perdu, oui. English, didn't you just eat yours? English, whose toast is that? It's French's toast. What are we gonna name this? Yeah, we're gonna call it a pool, but just for the record, we still think it's a disgusting place that people basically just used to piss in. What? No, absolutely not. This is a place where people go and have fun, okay? They go and swim around with their family, okay? People don't use this place to piss in, all right? French? A place to piss in. Oh God, not that face. No, please, no.
Swimming pool. Piscine. What up? ¿Qué pedo? Pedo. Fart.
So sorry I'm late, eh? Hey, Spanish, no worries. Hola, French. What fart? Nobody, no, that's just how French smells. You get used to it real quick. Excuse me? No, that's how we're going to say what's up in Spanish. What fart? No. Last week we agreed on ¿Qué pasa?, which means like, what's going on? Yes, but we have a country, Mexico, and we're going to start saying what fart. You want to say what fart? Yes, and it works for everything. Problem, fart. Good person, good fart. Bad person, bad fart. No joke, no fart. No, Spanish, you can't have the entire population of a country saying what fart all day. So you wanted to say what fart? Yeah, no, I don't see
Fart
that.
humor
Yeah, that
ever
works.
get old? I don't know.
No.
Moving
Never
on.
outgrow fart humor.
Words are hard,
Hey, guys.
yo. It is right. Like it just focuses on
Words
like
are hard.
how messed up
Yeah, that's
the
good.
languages
True.
are, right?
Yeah, it's funny when you do that in a comedic
Yeah.
format too, and you kind of really shine a light
Yeah,
on
and
like
he
how
does-
weird our language is.
He does a really good job of
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
He's really funny. Um,
And he is French. He's
Yes. Yeah.
He's at least fluent in French.
well,
'cause
he's
I've
fluent
seen
in
some of
French,
his,
Spanish, and English.
He is. Okay,
Yeah, he
nice.
is.
That helps
If you look
too.
up like his tag, he actually like one of his parents is Spanish, one's French, but he's like born in the States and like yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's hilarious.
hilarious.
More TikTok stars.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
he's been
this is the
popular for
trend.
a while now, and it's always wears that jacket too with like everything on it. It's kind of like his costume for it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
right. Part of his persona.
Yeah.
Is he from France or is he French Canadian?
No, I think he's American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he
Nice.
was Canadian for the longest time, but then I like looked it up, and I'm pretty sure he's from the States.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was French.
There
I
you
thought
go.
I just assumed because he did a French accent so well that he was French
That
Canadian.
he was French Canadian. It seemed had that vibe too.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I did not have a funny shit on the
I
internet
know.
today. I guess I had a pretty drab week on the internet. But yeah, otherwise, that's about it really. I did have there were some interesting things that came down though.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a minute to just talk. It's kind of gets a little bit into nerdy, but Wizards of the Coast did announce this Ravenloft compendium, and I mentioned earlier that there had been some friction around it because there was some legal back and forth between Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, who were the original creators of the Ravenloft setting. They're also the original creators of Dragonlance. So if you're interested in or familiar with that kind of high fantasy, those high fantasy settings, Ravenloft is effectively set around the main hub of Barovia, which is a region of Ravenloft. And it's this very dark gothic setting, vampires, werewolves, all that kind of mystical, like gothic fantasy
Yeah.
that people really enjoy. So I think it was something that was refreshing for the setting, and that's why I think a lot of people are excited about it. I am too, because it is like for a long time Wizards has kind of been recycling old things, and I felt like that was kind of starting to become a bit of a cop out, right? Because they were just going back into things from the 80s and like porting them for 5e, which is the current edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and making them relevant for today. And that is a little bit of an easy pass. I think it's kind of mailing it in because they're just, half right. It was the husband and wife duo of Tracy and Laura Hickman. Margaret Weiss was definitely involved though. Was she not? I know this is kind of your jam, Polly, so correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know who these people are, so.
Yeah, they're just basically the primaries
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them. So back in those days, there were like one or two primaries on books as far as authoring them go. Yeah. So, but obviously, Polly, you're quite excited about it. I am as well, because I think it's about time we had like a compendium, like a resource to help us build narratives rather than like an adventure that's either a compilation of adventures or something like that. So I really like that. About this time last year they came out with Tales from the Yawning Portal, which again was a bunch of formerly published 80s adventures that they had rehashed for 5e essentially. And then they came out with Tasha's, which honestly there's some good stuff in it, but I feel like it was really Wizards answering a modern mentality of the let's say today's gamer, and again not really kind of a bunch of like unearthed arcana stuff, a bunch of test stuff. I feel like they kind of mailed that in too. And then Candlekeep I think is a really great compendium, but effectively they've solicited like a lot of creators from the community to contribute to that book, which is awesome for those community members. And like I said last week, I would never take anything away from them in that regard. I just hope they're being taken care of, because I feel like Wizards gotten like a lot of free passes lately. So I'd like to see them like come out with something that's really fresh, new, even if it is an existing setting for 5e. But yeah, not for the initial i6 module. Yeah, so that's a deep cut there. I'll take your word for it. Splitting hairs. It's similar to the old D&D 2e Domains of Dread book. Gotcha. Yeah, so the domains will be interesting. Tasha's was kind of meh. I was hoping for more. I felt like Tasha's was a very performative move and in a compendium format, and then they charged us like $45-$50 for it.
Yeah.
And that kind of like irritated me. I think that content they should have released for free. They have the outlet to do it.
I see.
Because they were like adjustments to existing things.
Yeah.
And really there's nothing in Tasha's that you can't do on your own. It's nice to have it formalized, and I get that a lot of players and DMs, new veteran or otherwise, like to have things officially, published
They
before
need
they
that,
use
yeah.
them. But I do a little bit of both. I only allow published materials in my games, but I will take great liberties with them as a DM.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that or likes to do that or does it well. So some people really like to have it, written before they can lean on it. So I get that. But I think, like I said, a lot of it was kind of performative. A lot of it was answering a lot of the heat they got, the societal heat they got last year for things like inequalities, ableism, and particularly some of the scandalous things that they were mired in as a group. Like, they had some particular people on their staff who were notoriously involved with people who were like poster children for bigotry, sexism, and all that stuff. It got pretty ugly for them. So then the way I look at Tasha's is, okay, you guys put it in a compendium and now you're charging your users to have it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough thing for them to do right, I guess. But
Yeah.
so that is me, but I love the game. It's a great game, and these types of compendiums that exist in the world are the ones that I'm excited about. DM's prerogative to tweak a few things here and there. That's what we do. Yeah, and now I don't know what the deal is with Candlekeep, but I would hope that, the next thing they did was then enlist a whole bunch of community members to create content, put it in a book, and then sold that book.
Yeah.
So I hope that the proceeds of that book are either in a heavy capacity going back to those community creators or going to charity or something, because I would hate to think that it would feel pretty greasy for Wizards to basically kick back, take the day off, let the community create this thing for them, and then sell it for full price.
Yeah.
Right? Tash is kind of meh, hoping for more for the size of Skag. Yeah, the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, which again is another really great. I like the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. It's another regional compendium.
Yeah.
Best thing about Tash's was the spell Dream of the Blue Veil. Yeah, so I haven't gone through it entirely yet. I'm only about halfway through it, and honestly, that was enough for me to be like, okay, I see what this is. And then I moved on. Skag is a great book and highly underestimated. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it really, that's what I want. I want more things from them that
What's
blow out
Skag?
the lore.
What's Skag?
The Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. So it
okay,
handles specifically the north, just south of the glacier on the west coast where Waterdeep is, Baldur's Gate,
Right.
Candlekeep, basically down to Candlekeep and a little bit south of that. And that's
Right.
it.
Okay.
As well as Neverwinter, the Neverwinter Wood, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of really great story that happens in that area, and that's what I want to see from them is more things about the land that I can use to build my own games, less recipe-driven type things or things that are clearly an answer to something that nobody really asked for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did not say nobody asked for those answers, but you don't get to be here's a major book release. I'm like, no, that's a PR move.
Yeah.
That's something you should be doing anyway. I like it, but it's kind of light on details. The Sword Coast Adventure Guide. Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty thin compendium as well. That's me also talking about something that I love in lieu of the fact that I don't have a funny shit on the internet today. So I apologize, but I was busy decorating the house for someone's birthday.
That's okay. It's true.
And
There's
I'm
more
not sorry.
decorations
I would
downstairs.
have made that choice every time. DMing along with players who fill in the rest, make up the and I mean honestly, I'll find lore stuff online if I can't find it, and I'll just make it work in my game. It's not that big a deal, right? The mechanics and stuff are a little bit more tricky, and like I said, some players and DMs need that stuff in a hard format before they can feel comfortable using it, and that's totally fine too. Yeah, there you go. Dream of the Blue Veil allows access to different settings. You can go from the realms to Greyhawk or Mystera if you want. Okay, so we're talking planar travel, which is interesting because that could open up a lot of really cool things too. Ravenloft, though, I am quite excited about. I hope they do it well. I hope they do it justice. I don't really know what the legal implications were in the issues around the copyright that they got into, but Weiss and Hickman had levied a pretty heavy legal front against Wizards for the use of that IP, and it went away. So presumably Wizards paid up, I would say, for the right to be able to do this and do it unharassed. But here we go with some Ravenloft. It's a great, great setting. It goes way beyond Castle Ravenloft, Strahd, and Barovia, which we saw in Curse of Strahd, which is also hailed as one of the best adventures for 5e, the best campaigns ever created for this edition. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. And maybe I'll bring us to Ravenlaughs. It'll be Ravenlaughs when we play it in my own game for sure. Planar travel is always welcome, even if we're willing to stride back into the mists. Exactly. I love that because that opens Planescape. Was it the Mistress of Pain? I'm probably butchering that, but yeah, I loved Planescape back in the day too. But that's enough of that, and a perfect segue into nerdity warnings. So strap in, nerds, because here we go.
Get those nerds! Nerds!
Yes, and nerdity warning. This is where we get into our nerdy little bubbles and share things that are a little bit more niche, you might say. And actually, Bigly is gonna kick this one off as well, stemming from we're launching from last week's Nintendo Direct into a little bit of a potentially more polarizing subject, specifically.
So let's just get this started.
Okay.
Last Friday, I talked about how the Nintendo Direct that happened was disappointing, I would say, for Zelda fans specifically, but that hopefully, because Zelda's 35th anniversary was last Sunday, that they were going to make another announcement or something along those lines.
Or something.
Something, right? Something. And then the 35th anniversary happened, and everyone except Nintendo acknowledged it. Like, there's one thing to, like, not make an announcement about anything, and there's another to completely ignore that it's happening. Nintendo tweeted, like, about some alien game on their Twitter. And
it was the UFO.
The UFO thing.
Yeah.
And they also did that on their Instagram. And it was like, it's Sunday. Take time to relax and play with your stupid little alien. And I'm like,
totally subjective.
Wait, no, this is a bit of a rant. But I can't believe they didn't even tweet out anything about the anniversary. No acknowledgement to the, like, one of their biggest franchises. Mario and Zelda are arguably their biggest franchises.
Yes.
That people love.
Okay, all right.
Arguably.
Unless we include, that's true. Their owned IPs.
Yes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Adelaide said, preach it, sister,
Preach
right?
it, sister. Yeah.
And
keep going.
and so I see what you're saying, but
we'll come back to that.
I'm coming back to
that.
that.
Lies the debate for sure.
Yeah. But my point being is they didn't acknowledge it at all. Like I said, it's one thing to, like, not release anything on that day, and it's another thing to completely ignore it, right? Yeah. So yes, I know a lot of people. I've seen a lot of things of being like, oh well, you know, Mario's 35th anniversary is running like 5 minutes till this. But here's the thing: when Mario's 35th anniversary happened initially, they did it when Mario's 35th anniversary was. Some people were like, oh, but they did that in September, and the argument was, but yeah, because it's in September. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it was in February and they waited until September, right?
Waiting for Big Brother Mario to finish his event, and because Mario 35th
right,
anniversary isn't over yet, running until the end of March.
That doesn't mean
Zelda
you
will
can't
get its stuff starting in April to run for the full year.
But this is the thing, though, right?
This is the popular counterpoint to that debate.
But the problem is, though, why couldn't they have just tweeted anything?
Yeah,
you know
I
what
thought it was
I
a little
mean?
strange to just completely
shadow
ban Zelda. But
I totally understand. Yeah. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes,
Captain.
Captain.
Very nice of you. Happy birthday, Bigly.
It's one thing that, I totally get it. I agree that there probably is going to be releases later in the year. There's lots of sources that I've heard speak. I've watched a lot of videos this past week of insiders who have, like I said, that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are going to be released. Right. I've also heard some rumors that there is going to be like a Switch Pro, and that Ocarina of Time is going to potentially have something to do with that. I don't know if you heard all of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that potentially Ocarina of Time is going to be like a big release with the Switch Pro type thing.
Yeah.
So they're waiting to, like, those are going to be the big announcements.
That's a lot of tinfoil hat, though.
Yeah, it is. So that's well and fine, but here's the problem with that. The problem with that is the actual anniversary was almost a week ago Sunday now, right? Yeah. So when you don't acknowledge it at all, right? Whether or not you're releasing stuff later, whether or not it's still Mario's 35th anniversary still right now, the point being is that you didn't even tweet about it. You didn't even send a tweet about it.
It's just weird to not see
right?
anything
And
about it at all.
not that you didn't tweet anything that day. You made a choice to tweet about another
Specifically
game.
about another game. Yeah, so it's not like they were hesitant about tweeting about anything that wasn't Mario.
Yeah.
They specifically tweeted about a completely random indie game that they're also publishing. Silas says it's like we all ignore that it's Bigly's birthday and celebrate it next
Right?
month.
Yes.
Not
it's
a chance.
True, right?
That's right.
That's the thing, right?
Blevins, thank you very much for the like and
Yeah, thank you so much for the
Yo.
birthday wishes, Blevins.
thanks, Blevins. Very kind, my dude.
But yeah, like I was really disappointed, and I wasn't even
Yeah.
disappointed that there wasn't any news. By the middle of the day, I was more like, just tweet
It
happy
became weirder,
anniversary.
like something, anything, and the fans really took up the charge.
Yes, they
There was
did.
a lot of really great fan content that came
there was
through.
tons of like. It was trending, like Zelda 35th was trending on Twitter
Yeah.
because of the fans.
Yeah.
But then if you looked, I went and just read through the comments on the Nintendo posts because they were hilarious. They're like, well, if
Yeah.
you won't acknowledge it, and like crying gifs of Link.
It's almost like they
and
were
like,
trolling by posting about a completely different game that had nothing to do with either of
but
them.
and a lot of people were like, I hope the marketing people got fired for this,
that's a
and
little-
like,
that's a little
but
crazy.
it is.
The marketing people are probably doing exactly what they were expected
Yeah, but
to do,
but here's the thing
which
though,
is
right?
not take the limelight away from Mario.
But
I
that
do
but
get
here's
that,
the
though.
thing
I do
though.
get that.
How does tweeting, how does even sending a tweet out about saying it's Zelda's 35th anniversary,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, how does that take the limelight away from Mario?
It's because it's about like banking their content and shifting that like focus. That's all. And I can see this. I've seen this kind of behavior or idea in the corporate world. I'm not saying I agree with it or that it's really as impactful as sometimes people think. But the thing is that argument is no longer applicable because they did tweet about a different game.
Yes.
It was this totally random
Exactly.
game. So that's I could get behind that and say, okay, well, obviously they want to keep the focus on Mario. It's still Mario's jam for another month and a half. But then they did tweet about
Yes.
another game. I'm like, well, that just is more confusing.
Yeah,
and
so-
and really frustrating for like hardcore Zelda fans.
Yes.
We enjoy Zelda. You're a big
Yes.
Zelda fan. But it wasn't like neither of us were like offended. It was more like that's really weird.
I
and
was
don't
like,
understand
I
why.
was a little upset
Okay.
because
Never mind, we were.
because
Well, we're married, so I was half offended.
I just thought it was like kind of like a disservice to the fans.
That's fair.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? Like
yeah.
it's one
Yeah.
thing
I
to
get
like
it.
not release anything. That's fine. But it's another thing to just completely, I don't know how as a company you can completely ignore, like put a freaking picture up and say happy anniversary, Zelda. You
Yeah,
know what
just
I mean?
anything. Like to have-
anything.
to explicitly have no acknowledgement seems almost intentional around not
Yeah,
acknowledging it.
and like here's the thing: if they did that, is that going to suddenly take away for if in a month
Yeah.
from now they release?
I don't
stuff?
think they're going to post
No.
that and then sales of
If-
Fury of Bowser.
I can
are
tell
gonna
you
tank.
right now, the stuff that I've been reading from most Zelda fans and everything.
More to come starting in April. Yeah,
But here's the thing, right?
they
Like
don't really tease.
they don't
very
even
well
need. They
either.
didn't even need to say that. They didn't even need to say more to come starting in April. They already told us during the Nintendo Direct. They already said, Breath of the Wild 2 stuff you're going to see later this year, and that's really all they said.
But anything
they
would've
didn't
been a
even.
nice
I don't think they could promise anything on Sunday. I don't think they were going to say look for April because I don't even know if it is going to be April. Right? It's just what theories are, and realistically, like there's a lot of different speculations and theories from people and insiders and things like this. But like I'm curious to see how much of it is actually true because. They didn't even need to say like more are coming in April. They literally could have just tweeted like just happy anniversary to Zelda.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. No, it doesn't need more info, doesn't need anything. It's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo. Oh my God! Hello. With the running theory is that Nintendo just nuked us because
Wait, are we actually back?
Yeah, we're back up.
I don't see
I
it.
guess Nintendo just shut us down because we were trashing their efforts around. I mean, no, we weren't. We weren't talking about anything Nintendo related.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God! Sorry, guys. We're coming back up here. I don't even know what that was. That was weird.
That was Nintendo. Nintendo is vindictive.
They are. See what they just did. See what they just did to us.
That was so
Goodness.
weird. What
Yeah.
happened there? Apparently
That was a
Nintendo.
weird one.
our
I believe we're back. Yes,
yeah, we
we're
are.
good.
Yeah, our internet just completely died.
Yeah, it just completely
It just died.
just crapped out.
Nintendo was like, "I'll show you Zelda
COVID
anniversary."
internet. Yeah, that's right. We have one couple in Ontario talking shit about our radio silence on Legends of Zelda. Shut it
Quick,
down.
talk about PlayStation instead.
But just to let you know that while internet outages are being suffered here in Northern Ontario, the feed from Mars is strong. I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The feed from fucking
So
Mars.
tomorrow we'll be
Unbroken.
streaming from Mars.
Yeah, because the Wi-Fi is better, as Silo mentioned. Talk about PlayStation instead. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's
segue.
what I say, right?
Why don't we do it? Yeah, quick, switch to PlayStation.
Quick. Well, luckily,
Yeah.
that is our next topic.
Sony loves free publicity. Yeah, but just to tie that off, we have but like Zelda will get its due. I think they're also circumventing like the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, which is a huge deal. I saw some numbers yesterday when I was cutting that B-roll that like, you know, Mario is worth like 7 billion, Zelda's worth like 3 billion, and Pokemon's worth like 35 billion. So when they do the math, that's how they're going to make those decisions on a corporate level, right? Or a retail level. And there you have it. So that really kind of is the long and short, but good segue, 5-putt. Here we go. Talking a little bit about a big event that happened yesterday called the PlayStation. Nope. Wait a second. That's not the one. Get out of here. No,
Run and jump.
What
I
is
can
it?
be your backpack while
Here's
you
the
run.
right one. Yes. Sony PlayStation State of Play was yesterday evening. And these have become really interesting. So I think they do them semi-quarterly, or they try to do them quarterly. And typically it has become, in the age of COVID, the State of Play has really become mainly about trailers, reveals, new titles, first looks, things like that. It is pre-recorded, but it has a little bit of a live feel in some cases, we'll say. So I think, again, we talked about this last week. We were talking about BlizzCon Line and how BlizzCon Online, which has been named BlizzCon Line, sounds like a hotline for...
Nope.
Anyway, but everybody's trying to figure out how to do live events in the age of COVID, right? So the State of the Plays have been more or less pre-recorded, but with a bit of a live feel. And I thought they did a good job of it. There were some really good things released, but it has come down to basically a collection of trailers. This is one called, I forget the name of it. There's...
Okay.
You can answer Hogmere while I wait for my brain to fire up.
Thank you, Hawkmere. It
Thanks,
is a good
Hawkmere.
morning.
Welcome.
It's a birthday.
I think Returnal, that's the name of it, Returnal. And it's about this spacefaring citizen who's on an exploratory voyage. She lands in an ancient culture somewhere in galactic space and forces her into a loop of her own memories. It was really interesting looking. The tech demo seemed pretty cool. The gameplay demo looked pretty awesome. And I think it's going to be one of those kind of interesting storied playthroughs that you can really sink some time into. If you're watching the VOD, what you see right now is one called Sifu. And that is probably the biggest standout one of the State of the Play that I liked. Sifu has this really cool looking evolution of combat. So Sifu is a word that's meant for, like, you know, if you watch Cobra Kai, you hear them call their leaders or teachers sensei. Sifu is kind of like the Kung Fu Wing Chun version of that. So
Who
Sifu
cares?
is
Let's look at
basically
this one. Disney. Sorry, I love you.
Sifu is basically like the teacher, the coach, the instructor of that particular martial art form. Wing Chun and Kung Fu are known for these like really fluid, quick movements. If you've ever watched Ip Man or watched Bruce Lee movies, a lot of that is based in Wing Chun Kung Fu. And they seem to be on the right track to embrace and represent that type of combat and flow. And this opens with the main character who's just like fighting this group of individuals in a hallway. And he's going through these really well-connected, fluid combat motions that are difficult to do properly in the video game aesthetic today. And I think it made me think of like Spider-Man, where you have that really quick, agile, constant motion, that fluid combat. And to see this, it reminded me of that. And if you guys remember, some of my retro gamers out there, Virtua Fighter, when it came out for the Sega Dreamcast, and when it was in arcades, Virtua Fighter had this really cool like counterattack mechanic, which made all the combat very fluid. It had that kind of feel to me, and I was like, this seems really cool. And then the story on top of it, I just love the way the combat looked. So out of everything that was shown yesterday at State of Play, I think Sifu is probably the one that I was most excited about. There are a couple of other titles that don't really do it for me. Oddworld, I've never really been a fan of. I'm not a big platformer anyway, so I'll call that out as my own bias to begin with. So like Crash Bandicoot, I've never been really a big fan of, though I like the approach they're taking. I think Ratchet and Clank, I was never really a big fan of, but I do like the 3D kind of world that they're bringing into it. That game looks pretty cool. And then Oddworld, which is like a side-scrolling platformer.
Were you talking about the Pretty Disney one?
Not yet.
Oh.
God.
But you said that's the only one you were interested in, so I was confused. I thought
No, that's the only standout. You're right. I forgot about that one. So I'm getting to it in a second. That's Kena, Spirit, something of the Spirit
Bridge.
Ashes of the Spirit Bridge.
Yeah.
So not a big fan of the side scrollers, not a big fan of the platformers. So they didn't really do it for me. Oddworld just seemed, well, it's odd, but it just doesn't do it for me.
It's fine.
So personally, I'm not really that into it, but I'd be interested to hear what some other people think about some of those things that were revealed. One of the ones that I did think looked really cool was Kena, which they teased out more gameplay, and that looks really cool. So the way I would describe Kena is like, think about like Legend of Zelda open world goodness, but art and visuals by Disney. That's kind of for 2-play.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we'll be playing Kena. And by September, hopefully, we will have PlayStation 5. Pretty good chance we're going to be COVID vaccinated before we get a PlayStation 5. but we'll take either whenever they come. So that's our focus there. We will definitely be playing Kena for.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, for 2-play, absolutely. And like I said, it's like Legend of Zelda, that grand high fantasy, the beautiful world, but like with Disney art and visuals.
It looks so cool.
It looks very Disney-esque, and I love some of the mechanics. The story seems really cool. The heroine is just really engaging right off the bat, even from these little snippets. So I really like that. I thought that looked extremely cool. They opened with a little bit about tech around Resident Evil 6, which is, Thick Mama. You might see a lot of those memes going around, like the
Wait,
big bad in Resident Evil
7.
Wait.
You said
7?
6. It's definitely 7 that's coming out. Yeah, see, it's 7.
Sorry, no, that's Final Fantasy 7. I said Resident Evil.
Oh, I missed.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's Resident Evil 6, I think.
The one coming out on
it's
PS5?
not. It can't be. It might be 8. I don't know. The new Resident
Yeah, it
Evil
looks
game.
good. Leon's back.
With like the super hot vampires. Okay. Yeah, Leon's back in Resident Evil.
they're not
and that looks like it's
vampires?
Yes, they are. Okay.
I thought they're zombies.
Hey, birthday girl.
They're
take it away.
zombies.
No, they're not. Resident Evil? No,
they're
the
like
big
zombie vampires.
Okay. The big bads in the new Resident Evil game are vampires. It's well known at this point. So
and
that's
the
where we're
new
going.
one. Sorry. Okay, go on. La-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-da-bow.
As soon as your birthday is over, we're fisticuffs. We're sparring in the garage. So and then Final Fantasy was kind of the big bookend reveal.
Yeah.
They announced what effectively will be the remaster of Final Fantasy VII Remake for the next gen console, and they also announced the Final Fantasy VIII remake. So I guess stemming from the success that they had with Final Fantasy VII Remake last year, they're announcing the rollout of Final Fantasy VIII Remake. In addition to that, they have the remaster, or we'll call it like the visuals and performance upgrade for Final Fantasy VII Remake for like PlayStation 5 next gen consoles. So a lot of excitement around Final Fantasy VII. A lot of great news for fans of the Final Fantasy franchise, following what Square Enix has already done a really great job of in that owned IP. And I love Final Fantasy. I really like what they've done with the combat. Final Fantasy kind of really found a niche in that turn-based, team-based combat, and I know you're not a big fan of it, but the new version of that is a little bit more like a 3D, almost like a rotoscoped version of that combat, and I love what they've done with it. I love the story in 7. I think one of my favorites was I think 4 or 6. I don't remember.
I don't remember which one.
It's hard to keep up with all the numbers, but
I played one of them, but it wasn't like I got pretty far in it, but then I got really bored of the way that I really didn't like the combat.
Right.
I really didn't like the combat, so I stopped.
It's very optimized. It's very min-maxy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why that might not be. It's a little bit more time-based strategic. 5 saying they announced this morning that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a March PS Plus game. That's amazing, which means it's free for PS Plus
cool, nice
users. That's amazing, which pretty much everybody is if you want your PlayStation to use your PlayStation Online.
I have the original Final Fantasy VII on my Switch.
Hey, what? Really?
That's crazy.
You have the original Final Fantasy VII on your Switch? I didn't even know you could get that. I'm going to have to look into that. Hello, Michael Reeder.
Hi.
Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll look out for that on PS Plus. Maybe
store.
we'll play it offline, just see how you do with it. See if you enjoy it a little bit better, because they have really done a really nice treatment of it. So yeah, March PS Plus. That's awesome. Scarchick, I'll have to check that out. That's interesting because you don't really see title crossover like that between consoles.
Yeah.
Interesting. But otherwise, state of play, a good consistent drop. It's generally pleasing. You know, sometimes I think console fans and gaming fans, we just want to see like cool things, nice trailers, things that we can get hyped about.
It's true.
And it's I appreciate it's a really tricky place for these console manufacturers and game publishers when they have things that fans are eagerly awaiting to try and get up in front of people and try and, you know, showcase that and enjoy it, even if it's not, you know, Breath of the Wild 2. Like, Nintendo got up for Direct and they knew they weren't sharing news about Breath of the Wild 2. That's got to be some pretty tough inertia to push through when you know what fans want and you know you're not giving it to them. I don't know a better way than Nintendo could have done that, but Nintendo knows that their fans are core. They're there to stay regardless, right? Like, we can be a little bit annoyed at Zelda.
Yeah.
We can be a little bit annoyed that Mario's kind of hogging the limelight. It is his jam right now, or their jam. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Nintendo knows we're still going to take it when it comes, and we're still going to buy it when it comes out. So
You guys drunk yet?
that's just the way it goes.
No, I haven't even
Not
had
yet,
one
but we
drink
will
given
soon.
to me yet.
We might check out of work early this morning. Because that is a wrap on Nerdity Warning. That's right, and that brings us into the end of that segment. So we'll keep an eye out for more State of the Games. I do like how they pre-record them. They're short, sweet. I think this one was only like 27 minutes, 30 minutes long. So yeah, it's a good little hit of what's coming. No news about God of War Ragnarok. I'm sure we're going to hear about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I'm excited about that one. And I think that we should also try to play some of the God of War games and see how you like
remember we were
those. 'Cause
talking
those
about
are
that.
crazy
Yeah.
awesome. And God of War, the new one that just came, or the last one that just came out, is actually really good story-driven third-party action, and the boss fights are freaking epic. So very cool. Yeah, so open it up to Q&A. Are you guys drunk yet? That's definitely next on the menu. Captain Crazy, how's your move doing?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
This would be like in another replacement for my lack of funny shit on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to start it off?
Well, we announced officially to our broader network this week that we are moving to Ireland. And this is something that we've been working on for nigh on 2 years now. We spent our anniversary there a couple of years ago. And like you guys know by now, we had planned a lot of travel. We do a lot of globe trotting. Travel is one of the things that we just cherish. We love to get out and experience new places, whether they're overseas or in our own backyard. It's something that we've always really enjoyed doing. So we're pretty well traveled, and we know that when you're in a new place for vacation, that there are rose-colored glasses. It's kind of a perfect experience. So when we fell in love with Ireland, it went beyond that. Like, yes, we had an amazing 2 weeks there. It was a place that spoke very deeply to both of our hearts, but we were also tailoring it with the knowledge that, like, okay, this is a vacation experience. Is this a place we want to live? And after, I would say, 4 months went by, 6 months went by, a year went by, and we still like could not stop thinking about it and dreaming of it. It had gripped us so thoroughly. Beyond like the vacation experience, it's the culture, the people. I'm originally from Newfoundland on the East Coast, so there was a very close kinship there right from the get-go, where I felt like it was a piece of my home, but with the grand scale that I've gotten used to living in a big city and the access that goes there, and just a point in my life where I think I'd be ready to accept that as like where we live for forever on. That was what it was for me. What about you?
Yeah, for me and in general for us, I never actually saw ourselves living in Canada for the rest of our lives.
We both agree on that. We just never really felt like we would be spending the rest of our lives in Canada.
No, and it's not anything saying bad about Canada. It's just that like I wanted to be somewhere else.
And like to travel.
Yeah, and then Ireland just ended up being and feeling like the right place to do that. It had like has like everything that we want and like culturally and just like lifestyle wise for us. But yeah, so move is going well in regards of like the process to move there. So you guys know our aim is to be there sometime September, beginning of October. That's kind of the goal right now. So I have my UK citizenship all sorted out now, and my mom has her UK citizenship all sorted out. She's moving there with us as well. And so right now what we're working on is we're working on Brad's visa, which is kind of like the next big step. The next few things we can kind of all do together. So like getting a bank account in Ireland, getting a house in Ireland, and then getting Brad's visa. So getting a house there isn't banked on Brad's visa. So like we can do those simultaneously. Brad just needs the visa to actually physically like stay there once we're there.
Yeah.
And once he gets approved for that, it's basically like I sponsor him. So now that I have my citizenship, we can go through that. That yours is actually the most lengthy out of everyone's.
Yeah, mine's a little bit more
like there's a
complex, I
lot
guess.
more we have to like get in line for it, and more papers and more things we have to send to them. There's no reason why he wouldn't get it. We just have to like be organized getting it all together. So that's where we are with it right now, is getting that sorted. And then obviously still keeping an eye on like houses and that sort of thing, because we always are looking and
And we've been
keeping an
watching
eye.
the real estate market for that last
For about 2
2
years.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we did was like when we decided like, no, this is like where our heart is, we set it aside for a bit. We let it simmer. Like, let's make sure we still feel this way in like a couple of months. We wanted to be realistic about it too. And like, it has never waned. If anything, it's just gotten stronger. That place has gotten stronger. And every time we see something from Ireland, it feels now like we're almost more visitors waiting to go home.
Yeah.
Right. So that was just all the kind of proof that we needed. So we built, I guess, a work back schedule with the end state being we moved to Ireland.
Yeah.
And then we sort of started to backtrack through all the steps that were needed. And then there are some big hurdles in between. And then there are little things that are just stuff that we have to do, right? So some of the big hurdles were citizenship. We're very fortunate that Steph's mom was born in England.
Yes.
So she is a UK citizen. And by proxy, it was very easy for Steph to get her citizenship. And the current agreement with European Union residents and British residents is that UK residents, UK nationals.
Well, wait, I'm gonna.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
really
correct
your
you there.
jam.
So it's not European Union and UK residents.
Sorry, you just explain it over.
Basically,
but
because
correctly.
of Brexit, right? The UK is not part of the EU anymore, which makes it harder typically for UK citizens then to live and work in other places. But because of the relationship that the UK has with Ireland, and also because Northern Ireland is attached to Ireland, they have a common travel agreement, which basically makes it that any UK citizen is still allowed, even with Brexit, to still live and work in Ireland without any sort of visa, or you can just go. Like, you don't have to worry about anything, which is really easy. The rest of the EU, that's not the case for the UK. It's just with Ireland, which is perfect for us. So it worked out really well.
So that makes it a lot easier. And approaching that as a citizen is night and day. And approaching it as a Canadian is even easier still, because it's still all Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if we were moving from the US, it would be a little bit more challenging because they're not part of the Commonwealth. There's just kind of easy things in.
There's more like financial things you have to prove if you're coming from the US as well, rather than coming from Canada or UK.
Hurdles.
Few more hurdles that you have to go through. So we're lucky in that sense. Because I've had a few people ask and be like, oh, well, like, how are you doing it? I have to do this. And I was like, oh, like, we don't have to do that. So we are lucky in that sense. But yeah, so all the next things are going to kind of all come together. We're also probably going to most likely be having to buy remotely. So we'll let you know how that goes.
That'll be interesting.
Because of COVID. Like, originally our plan was to fly to Ireland in July or August sometime.
Yeah, we nearly had it booked.
And
before,
and fly there during that time, stay for a couple of weeks, go look at houses while we're there, purchase a place there, and then come home, and then eventually fly out in another 2 months to go live there. But because of COVID, we're not sure if we'll be able to do that, or we might be able to do that, but it might be harder now with like flying back to Canada with like the new measures in Canada, which is fine, but it's not great for us. Yeah. So we have talked to some people about some lovely people who've been super helpful, who have bought overseas in Ireland from like North America. So we're probably going to have to do that, which is like not as scary as I thought it would sound. Like, if never have walked in the house you're purchasing. Sounds scary at first, but the more we talk about it, the less weird it seems to me. So like now at this point, I'm like, no, yeah, we'll buy a house virtually. You know what I mean?
It's true. It seemed really odd at first, but I agree with you there. The more we got into it, the less strange it seemed. Maybe we just have to pick a city or town.
So basically, where there's a few areas we're looking in. We're mainly looking County Galway or County Clare. Now we're not looking Galway City. We don't want to be in the city. We'd like to be somewhere close to the coast if possible. So County Clare and County Galway are our top areas that we're looking in. And we are also considering County Clare, depending where in Clare. We don't want it like super too remote, because there are some like western tips that are really remote, and we don't want to be that far out just for like internet wise and things like that. And we're also considering County Cork potentially, but closer to the Kerry border, because County Cork and County Kerry are very close to one another at some of the west coastal regions. So that's where we're looking. But mostly we're trying to land in like Galway, Clare area, up there. So if you know where those are, then you have an idea. If you're not,
And
check
it's
them out.
just
Look at them
stunning
out.
there. To be close to the ocean again is different. It triggers something chemical in you.
Yeah.
Especially if you like. I started my life near the ocean, and to get back to that, it would be a big perk for me too. Have to schedule a golf trip in 2022 and drop in on you?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
do it.
Please do.
Please do.
That would be amazing. And Aaron Durr, you and Jen know friends that live in your hometown. They're currently in Ireland, and he's Irish. Gotcha.
Nice.
Do they have family over there? Is that why? Like, are they there until things are sane again? Is
When
that
you're
the
scheduled,
deal?
I'm scheduling my vacation. Good.
Yes,
good.
yeah.
We that's our hope, is we really do want people to be able to come, and we hope that like our friends and things who maybe haven't traveled much recently or haven't traveled or don't because of costs or whatever, will have a place to stay now. So
because the end goal there is to work a B&B.
yeah, we want to do a small B&B there.
Set a part of it as a B&B. So we're looking at properties that are conducive to that.
Yeah, that have an option to do
And that
that.
would be wonderful. Yeah, we'd absolutely love that. As far as this goes, like, this is near and dear to our heart. This is a big part of who we are now too, and this won't change.
No.
I believe that we're even trying to keep the schedule the same.
So like we've been talking about like, we don't want to necessarily like alienate all of our North American audience anymore by they're 5 hours ahead, right?
BazNBigly B&B. That's right, B&B.
That's hilarious.
That's it.
So we don't want to alienate everyone here with the time difference. So we're thinking like we could still stream at the times we would normally stream there, but we probably potentially add something as well for the European side of
and
things.
the beauty
as
is
well.
it just means like our streaming schedule would shift into the evenings for us. It would stay the same for most of you folks, which means that if we were doing something in the day like running a B&B or working other contracts, then it wouldn't interfere. It'd actually land in exactly the perfect place. The only question mark might be like some of the evening streams, because that would be like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
over there.
exactly.
So, but we'll see how they play out. The morning streams would be the same,
Yeah.
which are some of our biggest offerings anyway.
Yep.
And then we'll just see how the rest of it plays out. The other beauty over there is like once you're over there, it's so easy to travel around to other parts of the world that our hearts have really longed to experience. But because we live in Canada and it's so cost prohibitive to travel anywhere to, from, or out of Canada, it kind of gets us around that, which is nice. If the morning show started at 8 p.m. Eastern, it would be easy for us. 8 a.m. Eastern, it would be easier for us. 9 to 5ers. You like, really? Okay, because we get a lot of feedback that like 9 is way too early for some folks too. So, but yeah. I can always do earlier. I'm an early riser anyway. Yam lover of yams.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Yam lover.
That's very sweet. Thank you for the well wishes, Yam lover. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Adapt and adjust accordingly. Will be.
Thanks.
And look, I have another announcement that I made lightly earlier, but I'll add it now too. And I'm no longer doing the morning host streams over on Squad State, so that frees me up for a lot of time to focus on other types of content that we want to do as well. So we're going to be focusing on like the post-production YouTube content, some stuff that's a little bit more on demand alongside of our live stream content, some tutorials, get those reviews up from our 2-play game playthroughs, things like that. So we're going to have a lot of stuff that we want to produce. And in addition to this, now that we have announced our intention, we're going to start vlogging a lot of that process too.
And if you do want to see more of the like process for the travel stuff that we're doing, our Instagram, which is BazNBigly Travel.
Yeah, let me go here, actually.
If you follow us on the Instagram, then it's BazNBigly_travel for our Instagram. And I will be posting lots of stuff about our Ireland process and things that we're doing to get ready to go there.
Travel?
Yeah,
BazNBigly.
_travel. About our process there. I'll post like stuff in the stories and things like that. So you can check us out there, follow us there. I will be posting. Yep, that's right.
Sweet. I did good.
But yeah, you can check us out. That's where most of the Ireland travel stuff will be going.
Yeah.
Some on Twitter too, I'm sure. But
And you see a lot of our former stuff from that trip we did.
yeah,
a couple years ago.
So like that's kind of like the other side of our stuff, right? The Instagram is mostly
really
our
wanna lean
travel
into that.
stuff. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we recognize that we're evolving more as like lifestyle content as opposed to like just strictly gaming or strictly TTRPG. It's more about like the things that we want to share and just these really great perspectives that are more or less unique. I mean, you can see other vloggers who vlog about Ireland, but this is us vlogging about Ireland. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
Vegas
Oh,
with the
Vegas.
big cheer. Thank you very much for the bit cheer. What's good, buddy? Welcome back. Hey, there you go. Vegas incoming with the birthday celebratory pizzazz.
That's cute.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, we're really pumped about it. It is scary. Like we're planners though, and I think this is something that we came by independently of one another and just really magnified when we came together. And that's just our ability to kind of plan things, see that future, that end goal, and then just draw the lines between it and push for it.
Yeah.
That's something that we do really well together. And I think that has really benefited the love that we have of travel and exploration. And at the same time, I think our love of travel and exploration has benefited from those behaviors or practices.
I have moved across the country. I've moved to the States. I moved across the country. I moved to California for a year. Yeah. So I have moved to another country before. Yeah. This is obviously, So, I mean, this is obviously a lot more in depth because, you know, like we have to sell our house here and we have to get rid of a lot of our possessions from here. Cause like there's a lot of stuff from here we won't be bringing. There's a lot we will be. But like there's stuff like a ton of furniture. We're probably just going to refurnish our home there. We're not going to like bring all of our furniture.
We'll be liquidating and we'll take you through that process as well. We have to list the house here. We want to try and do well on the market here. We at least need to break even on this house to really get to where we need to be financially to get set up over there. So we're going to share all of that. Hopefully that'll be interesting. Like Steph said, if you follow that Instagram link just a little bit above, that's where you'll find all that information. Sorry you're late, Vegas. Friday meeting just finished. No problem. Better to have it just finishing than just starting, right? Hope your Friday's off to a great start, my friend. And welcome.
Mine is.
Yours is, of course, because it's a very special day. Our neighbor moved to Slovenia and had an ocean liner ship his stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like ways
that we will want to keep.
Yeah, obviously. Like basically like from what you can do ship or you can do air for your stuff to get there. It depends how much stuff you have. Obviously air is a little quicker than ship. Yeah. So I'm hoping we can do it by air.
Yeah. And we'll probably hit you guys up for some intel on that too, Aaron, or if they're close. Got some and we're open to any suggestions as always. If anybody has any tips or experiences that you want to share, them by all means. And if you guys have any questions on any of that today, by all means, please do ask in chat. We're happy to kind of wind down with some of the Q&A.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's crazy, but it's fun. And like I can't wait to get there. Yeah,
I'm really excited about it. And we are also like our goal is to not spend another Canadian winter.
No,
here,
we're not.
To be honest with you, like we're not. I don't think we have many more Canadian winters.
I would love to be there for our anniversary and his birthday.
That's end of September.
Yeah, and that's the end of September. So if we can be there around that time, that's ideal for me. And my mom's 70th is at the end of October, and we really 100% we want to be like be there by then, which I don't see why not. Plus Brad's visa that he's getting, once he gets it, you have to get there within 6 months. Like he has to use it, so that kind of puts a time limit on it as well, because he can't apply for it again then for like another year otherwise. So when he gets it, once we're done the process, which should be, we're going to try and get a lot of that done this weekend. So I will be posting about that on Instagram when we're going through that visa process. And you then, once you get it, you have 6 months. So we have to get there.
Right now, I'm
within
in the
half a
criminal
year.
record. I just issued a request for my criminal record
Yeah.
check, which I expect to come back clean. We hope. 5 Pup planning to do theater there.
Yeah,
Big
so
part of it.
big part. And actually, in general, like professional and community theater over there is done a lot differently than it is here. So from everyone that I've spoken to, and I have some colleagues and things who've also worked over there, they actually pay quite well for the people who are like doing the community theater, like the directorate and things like that, because it's just revered a little bit more. So once we're there, and hopefully once theater starts ramping up again, the goal is definitely to do, I actually want to do some more, like I really want to do some more like directing and things like that there, but like actual like directing like professionally. So I'm going to try and get involved with that more when I'm over there. So that's the goal.
These are things I hadn't considered. What about my GTA record? And our COD ping will be much higher. You're right. Maybe we should reconsider. I never thought about that. No, but like internet has been part of the conversation because part of what's allowing us to do that is the fact that we both do work remotely. So Steph will still have her students that she's training on that end of theater, and any programming that we can devise based on that.
There,
And I still have like a lot of my
And
work
my
in
store.
digital marketing. And your store, the Etsy store, of course, which is doing really well, to the point where you've not only sold stock, but now you've restocked
I have.
and sold that stock. So you are a functioning toy vendor, which is crazy to me. It sounds like a dream.
fun.
Yeah, and it's great like that.
Plus
We'll
I
get
get
you
to
that
play
info
with
as well.
toys.
So all that stuff will be coming as part of that new vlog series when we start to share, like peel back the layers and just open the curtains on what that process looks like. But internet was a big part of it. Like we're looking at semi-remote areas to set up this B&B in these scenic parts of Ireland, but they also need to have pretty good, solid, reliable internet because that is a big part of both of our business. And my mother-in-law, Steph's mom, also works remotely. So like the good part is we can take our work with us anywhere we go. And I think I always talk about like the few silver linings of COVID, but they are there. One of them is that I think it's really just opened us up as a working global society to the fact that we can and should be able to work anywhere we want for most cases. I know not everybody has that luxury in their work, but if we do, then we should be able to take advantage of that. And the only thing that changes for me is I'm up at weird hours by comparison to most of my clients over here, right? So I would be working from like, oh my God, I'd be working from, what would that be? Maybe like 4 in the evening to like 9 at night.
Which is interesting because like that's when I was
Not 4 in the
teaching. That's when I would work anyway.
Yeah, about like 11 or 12 noon to about 9 at night.
But like that's when I was teaching anyway.
Yeah.
Like for me,
and it gives us the morning to run the B&B,
like,
to do things like that.
Yeah. So like me teaching in the evenings now, like before was what I did. Now I'm not because I'm teaching when it works for the kids here. But like if I transfer that when it works for the kids here, but over in Ireland, you know, plus I would hope I would have some students in Ireland then eventually as well.
Yep.
At some point. or
Now we are a
something.
long ways out. Like
Yep.
that 6-7 months is going to fly, I'm sure. But and there's a lot of things that we have to do. But that effectively is the idea of it. We'll do another more succinct video about where we are, what the game plan looks like, and how we're progressing against it. And then you can look for regular content from us that showcases the journey, I guess.
Yeah.
But I worked with somebody in Northern England earlier this month who told us that his small hamlet just had fiber run this year. I think a lot has been done during the pandemic to speed up people's networks.
It's true,
Yeah,
which
this-
is actually
in this
really
weird
great
time,
for us.
A lot of that has really worked towards and has been conducive to what we want to do over there. Not only that, but the housing market, like where we are, is going through the roof because a lot of people are flooding out of the city. Where we want to go, it's dropping a
kinda
lot
just
because
here,
a lot of people are looking globally for real estate for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and houses
Right?
just aren't like
So the timing
selling
is just
super
perfect.
crazy like right now in Ireland. So
And that's always been our style. Is like we research. We study the hell out of something. We watch it for a year or more, and then we just make sure that we're ready so that when the situation is right,
yes.
that we're in a position to move. That's always been kind of like our MO, I guess.
Yeah, and also like prepared for what if there's a scenario where we only sell for this or buy for this, you know, and give yourself that leeway as well in case it doesn't work out like 100% exactly how you imagined it to work out. The hardest thing for us is going to be not getting Brad's visa, not buying a house, not getting a bank account and mortgage set up there. The hardest part of it is going to be timing to sell this house when we buy the house in Ireland.
That's gonna be the
and that
trickiest part.
in between part, and then getting there. The part that actually like stresses me out the most is the actual flight there, and not because of things not working out. It's because of all the things we will have. We will have 3 animals with us.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, then like, do we drive to the house? Do we have to stay at a hotel for a night first and then get the key? And like, how does that all work?
And we don't even know those answers.
No,
yet.
we don't.
want
And
it
that's
till we're
why,
closer.
and that's why those are the most scary and stressful. The things you don't know are the most stressful. The things we do know, like getting your visa, how to buy a house over there, how to do a mortgage. Those things aren't as worrisome to me because we know how they're done. We know how the like stuff for the pets is done, but like we won't know until we know.
But honestly, we love you guys, and you are part of this. Like you are part of this. We do consider, what we're creating here, what we're creating as a community, what that means. So it was never in the mix for us to ever not make this work. So we look forward to doing that with you.
And as I always say, just because something's scary doesn't mean you don't do it.
No, that's right. It's even more reason to make it happen or give it a shot. Anyway, this was scary when we first started, and here we are.
That's right.
Sell your house first and push for a long close. Yeah, that's exactly kind of like that's what the window that we have to try and aim for.
Yeah.
And apparently people are pretty hip to that over there.
Yeah, over
They've
there,
been
it's
like
the real
60
estate
months,
market.
60 days to 90
The
days.
real estate market over there too is completely different than ours. Like it is nothing like buying a house here at all.
Pushing for a long close here might be trickier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
They're just, it's very different over there of how things are done. And once we looked into it and once we found out, there's just way less people involved. Like you don't need an agent.
Yeah.
You don't need a lawyer. It's very different.
It's a lot more streamlined.
Yeah, way more streamlined.
What we can't have happen, what we can't do is we can't be in a situation where we buy there and we don't sell here.
Yeah.
We can't be in a position where we sell here too early. We don't have something over there and have to rent something short term.
Yeah.
We can't be in those situations. So that's, like Steph said, that's going to be the most delicate part of this dance. But it's exciting and it's thrilling.
And we've done it
it's just
before.
the right kind of scary. And we've done it before. So we got a bit of a system down and we know we can get through it.
Yeah.
So that's key. And we're excited to share it with all of you. And I hope that you're excited to hear about it. If you're not, let us know. We'll just do other things.
If you're not too bad, we're telling you anyway.
Yeah, but we'll spend more time like raging at various video games.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do another playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima.
No.
We'll see what happens. I'm ready to start birthday drinking.
I'm ready to start birthday drinking.
That
It's my birthday.
That's just a light prompt.
I wanted to have drinks here now.
I know, that was the idea, so let's go get that.
Okay.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Mwah. Much love to you, of course. That was a little, the mic's my, mwah. That's better. Much love to you. We always enjoy the time hanging out with you. Yes, please have a great day at work. I hope it goes smoothly and quickly for all of you. Appreciate you hanging out today. Good morning starts now. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend ahead. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific for the BazNBigly pajama stream, where we're going to continue the playthrough of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we are absolutely loving.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys are having a great time too, so we're happy with that being a
Thanks,
great
Rehnquist.
long
Thanks,
play.
Garshak.
Thank you
Seattle
guys.
Joe. Thank you, Vegas. Thank
Very
you,
nice.
Arendo. Arendo, we can do a socially distanced Ryan Coke drink.
Yes, that would be amazing. Maybe we should do like an off-stream just video get drink. See what happens. But we can definitely make that work for sure. Shots!
Shot.
Virtual shots.
shot.
All right, Bigly, last words from the birthday girl.
Thank you guys so much. Yay! Okay.
Peace.
Bye.